Thumbs up, who's ready? Oh, it's at the top, okay. It is 6 p.m. and we do have a quorum. Welcome, everyone. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here. Lots of new faces that we've been fortunate enough to meet already for some of us, and so that in a minute. So we have item 3, consent agenda. Item 8, consideration to adopt meeting agenda. We have a motion on the floor.
I move we adopt the consent agenda.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Miles has the motion. Ms. Segovia with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Agenda has been adopted. Item B, consideration to approve minutes of previous meetings. So we had the regular board meeting on June 9th and then the special board meeting on June 30th. We have a motion to adopt. Does anybody have anything they want to? Any questions, comments, or discussion about it? About them?
I move to adopt the meeting agenda.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Segovia.
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Miles. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Minutes have been approved for June 9th and June 30th. Okay, item 4, reports. Construction report.
So core team attended what they consider the page turner at PSFA on 7/14. In terms of that meeting, it is Decker just going through all the preliminary information that they were on and kind of creating a timeline for us. However, through those conversations, we discussed student count, and our 40th day count does not include New Mexico pre-K. So we spoke about that and what does that possibly look like? And we could go back to the PSCOC at the October meeting. They don't have a September meeting. August, in terms of being back to school, was a little fast to do a turnaround and try to get on that agenda. So we have elected to possibly go back in October. So at the future board meetings, I would like to discuss kind of where we want to go in terms of the new construction. We also are currently looking into a project management company, which would take a lot of these pieces that we are having to each individually do, as well as when it comes to doing any of the contracts with builders or any of that, they would be kind of on our side to tell us, hey, this is normal, this is not normal, what to look for in general. So kind of our eyes and ears, and they do it every day. So that way we're not missing anything. So we're currently looking into that as well.
What would the count? It would be out of what, like 20?
20 students. Give or take, it could be, because sometimes we run 5 or 6 kids on a special ed caseload. Those students are included in the 40th day count. It's only our regular New Mexico pre-K kids who are not included. But it could make enough of a difference that we could get an extra classroom out of it. So I think it's something we probably need to discuss and talk about in the future.
Does it seem like they would give us that?
So PSFA has not had any school ask for that. However, they were pretty confident that if your numbers increase, that most of the time your award also increases. We talked about possibly even going back before we got to that point when we talked. And I am not confident that if we went back without an ad that we would get anything extra. In terms of the prior meeting that we went to, in which we presented our findings, it was kind of black and white to me that, hey, you're lucky we're giving you extra. You were already awarded this on a previous letter. You should be in construction phase already. This has taken a really long time. Please get on track because building could get more expensive every day.
Okay, thank you. So, oh, actually, you know what was our final square footage? I know I listened to that, but
84,000 is the current square footage.
Mhm.
So I also think it's somewhat, we need to have Decker kind of explore what does that look like and what does that exclude if we utilize that 84,000, right? So then we kind of also know what we need to fight for in terms of a little extra for this, or we have to have this classroom and we don't currently have it. That's also kind of hard when it's just a giant figure versus exactly where that would be expended.
Seems good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, item 4B, student and teacher reports.
There is none.
No students right now. Item 4C, board reports. How was law conference? Did you guys report on that already? I missed it, so good. Item 4D, superintendent report.
Okay, so kind of a lengthy list. So the first thing is in 25-26 goals, just as a district, as we plan for back to school and information that I'm going to provide to staff and on the first day back with all of them. There's 3 goals that we have as a district, and then based upon these goals, each of our schools will also create their own 90-day plans on how to meet these goals, as well as some minor goals that they have of their own. So based upon a survey that you guys had whenever the last selection committee for superintendent, culture was a huge piece of that. And so number 1 goal, cultivate a safe, supportive, and inclusive culture that reflects high expectations and equitable outcomes for all students. And so with that, with creating that culture, we have to have a couple ways in which we can see some growth and also document that information. So we're going to launch monthly culture and climate walkthroughs at all campuses. So my hope is that I can take anyone from even central office or even Chris. Hey, Chris, come walk through a couple classrooms with me. And here's our little rubric. What are you seeing that's positive culture? What can we work on? And so we're going to do that on a monthly basis. And then we'll have that to report out to on what does this look like and where are the places we can grow. And then we'll conduct 2 staff and student family culture climate surveys. And so we'll put one out in the fall for our parents and then and our staff, as well as our students to do. And we would like to show improvement from the fall to the spring with a 10% in the key indicators. So I also provided a copy of the questions for our culture and climate survey. And then kind of what we're looking for in terms of the culture and climate walkthrough. So that's goal 1. And then goal 2, maintain full compliance with NMPD programmatic instructional and accountability standards to ensure accreditation. So we did receive our accreditation letter this morning. Every school in New Mexico was accredited for the 24 or 25-26 school year. However, each school does have indicators in which we either met or, and we don't have copies of that today, but that'll be at the next board meeting. We'll discuss each of those individually and what that looks like. But we have some room for growth in terms of places in this last school year where we did not meet expectation or we were in the middle. I'm trying to think of the verb. They used a different verbiage that I wasn't used to. Partially met, I think is what they actually said, partially met expectations. So having a plan to ensure that we complete all of those 10 criteria, we talked about them at a couple other, and then we also at law conference, they looked at accreditation. So complete and submit all required reports. That includes financial audit, NM-, Ed Plan, NOVA data. It's an excessive list on or before the dates with 100% on-time submission rate. At this time, that is a big task because we do have a lot of those areas that we either partially did or we have not completed. including board, you were on that. You're the #1 indicator in terms of your training. We got partially complete on that. So I will be asking questions in the next few weeks as we have Zoom meetings to figure out what are they considering partially complete, because we have in the past, I've sent you guys the list of all the trainings you had, and I thought we were good. So somewhere there's probably
The only thing I can think of is maybe, you know, how they had it 5 different areas like budget and finance, like we had to hit those targets.
And-
But I thought we did
And-
too.
and that's what, yeah, I'm not sure if they only maybe chose to do from January when they rolled out this. I don't know. And so I'm hoping at the next few meetings as they start to discuss that, then we can actually meet that standard. If somebody tells us, hey, we go from this, you know, July 1st through June 30th, then that's what we need to do. Or if board is January 1 to December, then we're able to hit that marker.
I
So
think that's what it is the January to December, so that's probably why it's partial, because the year's not over yet. So.
Right. Yeah, and NMSBA would be the ones, but yeah, I mean, honestly, they do the trainings based off those.
Yeah, and
things.
I mean, they even marked, other than the law conference, we had information on what you guys had all been to and whatnot. And it looked like we already hit it prior to law conference. So just questions as we go through this. I'm sure they're not, you know, prepared to some of this in-depth stuff of like, hey, how do we meet this standard? So those are things they have open office hours for the next month to kind of ask those questions and we can learn that. But also we're going to maximize bell-to-bell instructional time to improve student engagement and learning outcomes. So it's really important to me as we've decreased school by 1 day that we are not losing any time that's happening in the classroom. So ensuring from the beginning and the ending, when students are in that classroom, and even in your elementary school, from the time they transition to activities, that we're not wasting time. And by that, we're just going to do walkthroughs. And this is not for, I got you. This is how can we help better prepare our staff? What kind of expectations do we need to present for students to ensure that we're not wasting any time that we have with them in the instructional day? And then number 3, ensure that every minute of the instructional day is used purposefully to engage students in rigorous standards-based aligned learning from opening bell to closing bell. So walkthrough data and then student engagement through walkthroughs as well. So those are going to be our 3 as a district. And I would like at all of the board meetings to kind of just report back on this, so that way we can continue to hold everyone accountable for these goals as we move forward for the 25-26 school year. And then in terms of title funds, we did receive a memorandum from Secretary of Ed, and we got notes. So this is, I'll also say that we did get correspondence, because this is correspondence. I noticed that some other superintendents, that's where they brought this up, but I think this one is super important in terms of the fact that it is currently looking like there will be some title funds that we do not receive. So our Title I Part C, Education of Migratory Children, is currently delayed in receiving the budget. Title II, Part A, Supporting Effective Instruction. This to me is a huge hit, as this is where we pay for a lot of our teacher PD, the professional development that we're able to bring in for staff. This piece with them delaying those funds, and they're saying delay at this point, but they did say plan that you would not receive these funds and see if you can utilize operational funds in some of these places. Also, Title III, English language acquisition, language enhancement, academic achievement. So some of the funding we've been using for our ELL students, that is also currently being delayed. And then Title IV, Part A, student support and academic enrichment grants. This is paid for our student council to travel. Before anything that we did that was student-centered, we could utilize that fund. And currently that also is on hold. Lastly, 21st Century Community Learning Center, Title IV, Part B, we do not currently receive any of those funds, so that did not affect us. With that, Title I, Part A, and our Idea B which is where we pay our salaries out of, we are going to receive that money. So in terms of salaries, I think that's a blessing that it doesn't look like we're going to have to cut anyone, but some of these crucial student programs that we utilize are currently on hold. And so we're just kind of waiting for that. And that's at the federal level. So currently accreditation update, we went over leadership meeting. We're going to all meet on 7/24 to prepare for the new school year. That's when we're going to look at our 90-day plans and aligning them with our 3 district goals. All of my principals, federal programs, special education, we all attended NIMSL this past week. We were able to select a track that best fit the information that we needed. And I felt like it was very informative, but also a great time in which we all got to bond and understand each other's like why, but also how we can all each complement each other in what we're doing every day. Election of board. So on August 26th, we will have 3 positions come available to run. You must, from 9 to 5 p.m., go and declare your nominations on August 26th from 9 to 5. We have teachers and administrators that have all been accepted to PSB Thrive, Launch, Lead, Lift, and all of those is a great opportunity for our teachers and administrators to go to professional development in Albuquerque, and it's all completely paid for by the state of New Mexico. So we're super excited because they did cap each of those classes, and we had some get into each of them, which is exciting. And then I got into SOAR, which is from PSB as well. And with that, my whole team will get to go and we get to do collaboration and learning through that as well from PSB. So, and it's on a Saturday, so all of us will be up there together.
Nice.
A lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
And school is
Good
going to
job.
start on August 1st, and we are so excited.
Will be good. Any questions? Is there any way we could get the correspondence? For
Yes.
that? Maybe even just in the drive would be, or I'm saying Kelly told us, I'll be, unless you guys want hard copies.
Drive. You want to put it in the drive?
I'm fine with the drive.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Item 5, public forum. Do we have anything signed up?
No one signed up.
No one signed up. Okay. We are good there. Okay. Item 6, business. Item A, discussion of school board team building and strategic plan. And that was in our packet. And so there was a gentleman, oh my goodness, Linda, you might have to help me with his name. David, who I think he had a conversation or something with, was it probably, yeah, maybe you. Anyways, he sent me kind of a little proposal on that. And I just didn't know if we would be interested in something like that. It was some team building and planning.
So he did a team building for me. I work for the state of New Mexico, and he did team building for us. And so I had kind of just asked him because he said he did a variety of things, and I know that we were looking at making sure that we had a strategic plan since we don't currently have one. So I had just asked him if he did strategic planning, and he told me that he did. So did I give you his card maybe, or just his information?
No, I think, yeah, because he emailed, and so I just was like, oh, well, sure.
Okay. Yeah,
Brought
I told
something
him
up, and
the next
I
school.
was like,
That's why there's no information on there.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, so I was like,
Yeah.
sure, go ahead. And so this is what he sent. And so anyways, that's kind of what I was like, well, we can discuss it and see what we think about that.
I
If that's something we would
We've
want
got a
to.
good memory because I just kind of talked to him really briefly.
Yeah.
So he must have reached out. He must have looked you up then.
Yeah, I think he must have, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was spam, so there you go.
He was really good. He helped our team a lot. He was really good. So I don't know if what you guys think. The experience I had with the training that he did for us and our team, I think there was probably about 30 of us. So it was a lot of management and supervisor positions that he did for us in Albuquerque. Of course, we had multiple sessions. We did like 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, and I think I saw in there was like 2 or 3 days or something, full days. So I mean, it would be a commitment for sure. Like it's a plus, I mean, plus financial commitment as well. I can't remember what the cost was on it. Yeah,
I was wondering about the number of people to participate.
I
Because
think
it
he put the
says
5.
Up to 5.
I think he put 5. Where did I see it?
Yeah, it's on the first
Mhm.
paragraph.
Up to 5 members of the Dexter School Board of Education. I mean, we could always talk to him and
Wouldn't
see
we
what
want
it
to
would be
include-
about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, for strategic planning,
yeah, we need.
right.
we need other members to be there. I mean, other people.
Well, and then also, I don't know, time wise, if there's gonna be 3 new board members, I don't know if that's something we wanna do now.
Right, or
Or if-
no, yeah,
or if-
absolutely. That's kind of, I was like, well, we can discuss it and see what everybody thinks
And
and,
maybe by then we can get 2, 3, 4 different inputs out there as far as who's out there and see. We have a brand new crew, might as well get everybody involved and get the vision set. Maybe we can all work towards something. But I don't know.
And I can reach out to, especially Elisa at Lake Arthur, and see
if
who
they
else
do
does
some-
that. And then maybe we could get at least, 2 or
Mhm.
3 quotes or 4, and even if we kind of interview those people in general, I think that's important too, because they may, right fit for, but I do think it's a great conversation that we probably should keep on the,
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it for sure,
Mhm.
lots of times, but we've just never followed through. I mean, and we've had a lot on our plate. I guess all of us have that.
Is there any of that kind of service provided by Palms?
not by Palms, I don't believe, but I believe CES. And I know that Leanne Gandy does some board training similar to that too. So I will reach out. I think that's if we reach out to several and kind of see, but then maybe it's also important for me to reach out to different districts who've done it recently and know their experience from it too, because
Well, the fact that you had such a good
Mhm.
experience
Yeah.
speaks volumes.
Yeah.
But, and I'm a little bit on the fence about the idea of waiting till after the election because new board members won't have any of the background to draw from.
Well, and I think we just keep postponing it and postponing it. And I think that's why we don't have a strategic plan because we've never really looked for someone who can help us do it. And so we just kind of keep putting it off. But I think if we want to, like you said, start on the right foot for the new year, we probably need to do it. I mean, I understand yours too, because
Mhm.
there's new board members, but,
I mean, I just know how long it took me to sort of internalize all the.
well, and I'm still learning too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is year 2 for me, but it's still a lot of things that I'm hesitant about, so.
Well, and I feel like that we have new administrators that need the opportunity for input.
so for the August meeting, let's put it back on the agenda in terms of discussion, and I can reach out and kind of report back, and we can kind of tentatively make a decision. What, hey, yes, we want to go ahead and put it on the agenda to make a decision, but I can reach out and kind of see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, this just happened because he was talking and I thought, he said he had done strategic planning and I was like, okay, I need to talk to him afterwards, because I knew that we had talked about it. And so,
Which it is impressive that he,
Yeah, no.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
it was,
and it just all
it
came
showed
through.
up in my email.
he must have looked.
And it's
That's
been
why I
a
was
while,
like,
it's
did I
been a
do
little
this
bit, and I was
hard?
like, oh, and then, yeah, I mean, I kind of felt bad because I probably did leave them on, let's say, left them on red for a little bit. Anyway, I got back to
Yeah.
them.
So yeah, he must have looked it up to see, he must have remembered that I talked to him since.
So I'll just reach back out and tell them, we have, I mean, because I mean, I don't want to leave them hanging, so I'll just tell them, we've discussed it and we'll let you know within a month or so. Yeah. Anyways, okay, that was the discussion. Okay. Item 6, 6B. My readers. approval of wireless communication device policy for students, and that was in our packet.
It was, and we discussed last meeting, and Miss Nancy made one adjustment to it. We were able to get that made, and then approval would help us ensure that next week when school starts, that we would be able to start out the very first day with this policy in place. It is a 0 cell phone policy at the school level for students.
So they can't bring it to class, they can't bring it on campus or?
The
I
policy
didn't look at
basically
it,
just
sorry.
says you cannot be utilizing the device. So we're
in the backpacks are locked.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
backpacks, locker. Because here's the other thing, we're not going to be able to police that everywhere, every time. But what we're trying to do is protect the instructional time, but also to protect our breakfast and lunch time and really help those kids understand the social skills that we are somewhat missing now because they are spending all their time on that. And so when the state proposed that, the majority of schools are going to a 0.
You need a purchase it because when they lock them in.
they
Yeah,
have
there's
them.
all
They have
kinds
them
of
going,
options.
yeah.
And the smaller schools, pick them up every single day as they walk in. I mean, kids are smarter than that. I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But in terms of protecting our instructional time, I think this is a great place to start
And I think we have, right, like the little boxes
Yes.
already, the little
in the
wooden.
classroom.
One thing that didn't occur to me until just now is that so many phones are on the watch.
It does say on there, any communication device. So it includes any kind of gaming device. It has a little space where the definition is on there as well.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
No,
I
you're,
did read it, but
Does
I mean,
that
it's still-
include staff?
I was gonna say, and it still left some leeway, I think, for teachers in there.
it did. It said on the bottom that, if it's a need for the instructional,
Something like that.
it does.
Mhm.
And it's in my pile right here. I didn't get it out and put it on here, but it does give them some leeway. It also,
Medical is one as well, I believe I read.
Yes.
yeah, medical, if there's a medical issue, or in case of an emergency. Last year, we did find that, hey, we're gonna have to shut down due to wind. It happened really fast. Parents are more responsive to student phone call. So if we, have to make an all call at the high school, hey, in the next 25 minutes, we are gonna go ahead and release, please call your parents right now. We have put out an all call because but it takes over an hour for call 1 to the last call to be made. So that's important to utilize. However, we've also started utilizing text messages. So the majority of our parents should have received a text message. And if they haven't, we probably have their phone number in PowerSchool incorrectly today, in which it just talked about some important dates coming up, as well as we are still taking enrollment of students. So that, I think, has going to speed up some of that emergency use, but it is still evident that we need to be able to utilize them in such way if we have a procedure to do so.
What about staff though using?
So currently,
Is that in there as well?
it is not. This policy was made through legislation, and they kind of gave schools leeway, but it only addressed students. Our staff handbook does address staff, and it's pretty clear in regards to if it's, harmful to students, or if you're utilizing it while you have students present without prior permission. It's kind of vague, but it also just says be responsible for your time in the classroom as well, because it's important. And so as soon as we have our staff handbook completed, it is 93 pages. I've spent a lot of hours on it, but it was not completed by tonight. I will get you guys a copy. It is interactive. So each of the places that there is a board policy that matches, you can click on the board policy to see it. So that way, at least our staff, they're hyperlinked for staff to understand like the big picture policy wise and why are some of these things in place. Well, that policy creates this rule that we have now created. So as soon as that gets completed, I'll share that out as well in the board drive, probably under
The digital citizenship instruction, do we have a curriculum for that, or how is that gonna work?
currently we're going to have, that's part, we didn't have an option on whether or not. So through leadership, we will have to figure out a plan for that. That's somewhat similar to one of the other policies tonight. the advisory that we're gonna look over where it's parental guidance for water safety. I feel very much the same way, like, we were given this, you have to do this. However, we're kind of building as we go. Okay, we have the policy, we have to do this. Now we will have information based upon that. We do have digital citizenship in the packet that goes home, that parents and students sign when they enroll. But that's the only thing currently, no curriculum in terms of, but I do think that is important as we go through that to teach students how to utilize the internet safely as well as
And Ms.
plagiarism.
Monica, do you remember when we looked at the Alice training? Oh, one of our staff members had gone to Alice training, which is like active shooter
So
training.
Roswell,
They also had, I feel like whenever we reached out, they also had curriculum for digital citizenship, and it was like, obviously like grade banded, which was nice, you know?
okay.
I think I do recall.
It was something like that. I just remember.
And I'm also wondering if Palms doesn't also offer
Mhm.
something. So I have made a note here that
I have it up, but I mean, I would have to. It just all of a sudden struck me.
yeah, if you find it, will you please
Mhm.
forward?
Yeah, because it had, I mean, it had like a parent side too, where they could get information and packets, and it was both. It was kind of cool. Mm. Okay. Does anybody have any further questions, discussion?
So no cell phones, but they could wear your Apple Watches.
No, because it includes,
No.
mhm.
Mhm.
So just for medical necessity, documented as part of an IEP or a 504 and during an emergency, or if teachers may authorize device use during the instructional time when it is a necessary part of the curriculum. Or to contact guardians with prior approval from the teacher. First offense is a verbal warning. Device will be confiscated and taken to main office. It will be returned to student after final bell. Second offense, parent guardian must retrieve the device from the school office. Third offense, parent guardian must retrieve the device from the school office. Parents must sign for the device. And then for repeated offenses may result in further disciplinary measures, including detention or behavioral contracts.
And I think my biggest hope from this is that we don't get to that point because the bell to bell instruction does not leave time to utilize that. That to me is, we're proactively putting that in place of like, there's no longer time for you to utilize that device because the instruction, yeah.
Yeah, they won't be bored, so.
So approval of wireless communication device policy for students, item 6B. Do we have any further discussion or a motion?
I motion we approve the wireless communication device policy for students.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Davalos. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second by Ms. Lopez. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Policy and that passes. Item 6C, approval of data analysis and state reporting contract.
So we currently have a contract with JMP. And as I had to roll over Nova for the end of the school year, and Nova is what we utilize with Power School to report to the state. I realized that in terms of what we were getting, it wasn't really meeting the expectation I had from JMP. So I did include their quote in here because I wanted you guys to see their quote for the new year. We are already utilizing them. And then I also got 2 more quotes. When I reached out to all of these companies, Complied Analytics, while I was going through the end of year, I kind of interviewed them and then I said, I have these issues. And she was like, well, just get on Zoom with me real quick. And she actually walked me through things without a contract and just said, like, we're here to support schools. This is what we do. And she said, we want to ensure that you are successful. So with our accreditation, that is an area that we could improve in across all schools. And so the best part of this is that Complied Analytics actually had the quote that was the least expensive. So I would like the approval of the Complied Analytics as we go forward, because their company just is able to provide us more, as well as their customer service met a standard that was much higher.
Likely put them in order from least to greatest
Oh,
in the drive.
well, I did ask for the Complied Analytics to be on top because I wanted you guys to easily be able to access it. If you notice, even the estimate, Complied Analytics has 2 pages of information that they're going to provide. They provide weekly one-on-ones. In terms of Nova, the only thing that they really do not do for us is input the information. They are there every step of the way to help us ensure it's not just, hey, all of our schools get on at the exact same moment and we discuss it. It's one-on-one information. How can I help you? What is your problem this week? Hey, I noticed that this report from Nova is incorrect. Let me show you how to fix that. And so this is, I think, a step in the right direction for us on the accountability piece to meet that standard.
Any questions, comments, concerns, discussion? Or motion?
I move we approve the data analysis state reporting contract. Is that the correct one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for Complied Analytics.
For Complied Analytics LLC.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Miles, a second by Mr. Davalos. All in favor?
Aye.
And we will be using Complied Analytics as a term for Nova. Thank you, thank you. Okay, item 6D, it's a first reading of the policy advisory number 265, EBC emergencies. And so it's the first reading. Did anybody look over those? Have any changes that we didn't maybe want to make? It was the what did I say, 265?
We can see, and we have it here.
Mhm.
I didn't look at it, to be quite honest.
So in terms of this policy, this is a way to ensure that schools are doing their safe school plans. At the last board meeting, I brought a copy of ours for you guys to look at. And so this is kind of the state's way to not only, we have a law in place that says you have to do this plan. Now we have board policy that also encompasses that emergency plan, and you have to utilize all of these areas. And so that way, we're meeting that criteria. I believe that's kind of why this policy was created for both.
It's just the first reading, so if you guys stumble upon something that maybe we can get that changed next time. E is also a first reading for instructional goals and objectives. Policy advisory number 266 IA.
And I think this policy really hones in on the fact of the science of reading, structured literacy, scientifically based reading instruction, and puts that into policy for school districts. It does include other things as well, but that's kind of the main piece that I think is different from the other policies that are currently in place.
Yeah, I think it's like an addition to it. And then item F, the defibrillators.
So 267 is in your packet. I just wanted you guys to know, NMSBA put out the cell phone use, just at the end of June. And so we had already had the first reading of our own cell phone policy, and all of the districts around us have just created their own as well. So that is why that it is in this NMSBA packet, but we did skip that because we have created our own. And then the cardiac emergency just says we have to have defibrillators, especially in the high school by 26, 27, I believe. And we currently already do, as well as we do have training for that as well.
Is that like yearly training for staff?
Yes.
Or is it just particular staff?
So coaches every single year have to be AED trained. And then based upon our school safe plan and the state's recommendation, you have to have 3 people in each building every year trained to utilize it, as well.
So we have one on this campus. Do we have one on the elementary campus?
Yes, ma'am. And then there's one in the gym, as well. I think they actually might have moved it and, cause Adanya, it used to be in the gym and our cafeteria ladies, I need to double check that now. They moved it to the commons area. So that way if cafeteria staff or if there was games in there going, then there's one in there as well.
Access to it.
Yeah, I'll check.
Right by that door.
It has been moved. Okay, good deal.
So there's access to the defibrillators, but do we have enough people trained to use them? Because if we think about like, okay, so we have coaches, but then if all coaches are gone, right, and then something occurs here.
Yeah, and so that 3 is on the school safe plan that they have to be, if it's, so all of our cafeteria staff last year, Shelley, you guys all trained using the AED? Yes,
All EAs also because they're bus assistants.
and all
All
of these,
EAs.
okay. Yeah, so there's just certain groups, but state mandates 3 in your school safe plan that have to be trained, that we have to list,
So all cafeterias, true?
And then EAs.
yes. So I do believe we're already in compliance with that one as we get.
Sounds like it, yeah. And then, the water safety, parental guidance for water safety, policy advisory number 269, it's a first reading as well.
Yes, and we are currently working on information to put out to parents. So this policy just says that we have to provide parents with water safety in terms of swimming and how to prevent drowning. And so we, at the next meeting, will hopefully have that information for you guys to look at what we will be providing to parents as well.
And it'll be in the form of written information.
Yes. Unless one of you is going to volunteer to take everybody for swim lessons, and then we'll provide them.
Okay.
No. I did little kids, not big kids.
I know someone who used
We
to
need
be
a
a
goal
lifeguard. Item 6H, approval of increase to adult meal prices.
Shelley, would you like to speak on that?
Yes, we kind of wanted to bring it to the question before school starts. Usually we have this information way before, but they still have not released the rate per meal yet. And I don't really know if we're gonna have to raise it or not. I suspect that they probably will raise the reimbursement rate, which means we would have to raise the adult rate. But they still haven't released it as of today.
Oh, okay.
And we're just asking for approval to meet that rate.
Yes, that's what would keep us in compliance, because
The state's going to mandate.
it's USDA.
USDA.
And they don't wanna, it's a student program, and so we have to, when we sell to teachers and adults and whatnot, we have to pay the same price that it's reimbursement plus commodity price for the food. So we have to add those together and come up with our price. I don't think it'll be a lot, but I think we probably will get a little bit of raise on that reimbursement.
And currently we're at $5. So we would just like the ability to meet whatever the USDA.
What are we foreseeing it to be, Miss Shelley, you think?
No idea. We should already know if it's supposed to start.
What typically does it, how many, like 15 cents?
They're thinking the other food service directors that I've talked to, they're thinking around 15 cents probably. And if any, they don't have to
Right.
raise it. So, but they're thinking 15, which kind of makes it odd. I would suggest kind of around
A quarter.
And then we'll report back on this, on what we raise it to, if we do have to raise it at the next board meeting.
That's what we would like. And I can email you as soon as I get that email. I can, forward it to everybody, because it just hasn't been done.
Thank you, Miss Shelley.
Thank you.
Question, comment, discussion? Motion, anyone?
A motion, a motion, we approve, the approval to increase the, to adult meal prices.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Davalos and a second by Ms. Miles. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The approval to increase adult meal prices has been approved. So hopefully it'll be less than a quarter. We're hoping for less than a quarter. Okay, item 7A, approval of June bills and payroll.
I move we approve the June bills and payroll.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion or vote? We didn't call for discussion, but that's okay.
Any discussion?
No, I think we're good. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 7B, approval of budget adjustments.
The two budget adjustments, they're for idea funds, which is our federal special ed. This is from last year. We didn't receive them in time to add them to the budget. We were instructed to add them to FY25 budget. Rather ironic though, last year, some of our idea funds were cut, but we didn't get some reimbursements, so we really don't know how true these increases are. So we're gonna submit them and get budget authority and cross our fingers.
That they get here, yeah. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, or motion?
I move we approve the budget adjustments as presented.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Miles. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and a second by Mr. Davalos. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 7C, consideration and approval of resolution on intent to maintain the mill levy rate. And we had the presentation of that during the finance meeting.
I move
And
to
we have,
approve.
okay, go ahead.
I move to consider the approval of a resolution of the intent to maintain monthly levy rates.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Segovia. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 7D, approval of electrical repairs at the ag shop.
But what this is for is, with us getting more equipment in and being able to go outside more, there's no safe way for them to run extension cords, things like that out there, for the kids. So what this can do is it can install reels in different places. So all they have to do is grab on, pull it out there, ripper and bolt it back out. Keeps them up off the floor, keeps them where they're not hanging themselves on the cords and everything else. in the shop. So it runs through conduits, wiring, things like that.
So on this here, is it kind of like the other stuff we've got to get? Oh, here we go.
It's through a CES.
It's through a CES vendor is what it's for right now.
Okay.
So we don't have to go out for other.
Okay, and that's their deal. They get the 3 quotes themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way CES is, they open up bids every so often, and these people or these companies go in and say, yeah, we can do it for this amount or whatever, and then, that's how they get for it.
I see.
But we should probably know how much it's gonna cost before we approve it, right? Or is
You
that
should
already
have
in
the
here?
quote.
Yes,
And then we-
21,
Okay.
21,
Yeah.
305 with 58 cents.
It's not gonna be,
You need a copy of it now?
Well, it's probably in here somewhere. It's probably in here
It's
somewhere.
J&G on the
Oh,
top.
here it is.
And the reason I'm taking it really is because it's 220 and not just.
There's gonna be 4 220 plugs for welders, and then there's gonna be 4 120 volt plugs. Is what they are. So there's 8 different drops.
Then I also saw they're gonna be correcting some of the other stuff that.
Violation.
Yeah, just little things that need to be corrected.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
so 4 120s and 2 220s, is that correct?
No, 4 220s.
That's on the quote.
There's
Two,
one,
yeah.
2 and 4.
yeah,
Oh,
4
okay.
120s and 2 220s.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yes. 4 120s and 2 220s, yes.
Okay.
So 6 of them, oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was like, you said 8. I'm like, oh no, they wrote it
I should have
wrong.
read closer.
And then also make us compliant on a couple of little things.
Of code violations.
Any further questions or discussion or a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve the electronic repairs at the ag shop.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Segovia. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Electrical repairs approved. Item E, approval of security film at high school.
So what this is actually gonna cover is the windows at the high school and Lewis Gym. Lewis Gym. This is the security film that people are starting to put on these windows. Some of them, it'll be designated windows. They are bullet resistant. I don't say bulletproof, they are bullet resistant.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
others are where you can walk up to it, hit it with a bat and still won't shatter. There will be a couple of windows in a couple of designated spots. So that way, if fire or police have to get in there, they can still break through it. But all the windows will be covered.
But only they know, because they'll be decoys.
Right.
And the quote is in our packet as well. It's a hefty price, man. How are we paying for that now?
That comes out of security funding, Jeannie.
Yes. The capital funds we received.
I move we approve the security film at the high school.
I have a quick question. Because had we gotten security film for the elementary at one point?
We don't have
no, we
much
never
time
got-
for it. Now, it was, I don't think it was, maybe it was last year. I think it was last year, Mr. Burrell had brought in, this company had actually started looking at everything. But talking with Molly and with Jeannie both and a couple of other people, we've said, okay, let's hold off the elementary school for now and even the middle school with these new buildings.
Okay.
So we want to.
We just, I guess maybe we had the discussion. I just, yeah.
I do think he
Yeah.
did come
Mhm.
before the board and discuss it and then,
Possibly.
Mhm.
And depending on where we go from here, the elementary school might be the next one to get it, especially with that big wall window.
Oh, cafeteria. Okay. Sorry. We had a motion on the floor by Ms. Miles. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Ms. Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item approved, security film at high school. Item F, approval of lighting upgrade in Lewis Gym.
So what this is, I know most people haven't seen the new lights in the auto shop, but they're called UFO lights, just a round light with an LED. What this is gonna do is all of our fluorescent lights that are in the gym right now, those ballasts of bulbs are getting harder and harder to find, and they're finding it's really expensive. This company has come in, they've said, yeah, we can do it for this amount. And the other topper to that is Excel has come in and said, if you'll put in these lights, we're gonna give you this much in rebate for it. So as you can see, the rebate is a little over 4,000, so we pay out of pocket about 5,000. You know, after Excel pays us back that rebate, which be a really good thing, you know, we won't have to worry about bulbs, ballasts, anything like that.
What about, because I know the LED lights do go out as well. Have we looked at like the replacement cost and all?
They're still fairly cheap. I mean, I can't say what these lights are anymore. I want to say one of them, when at the Actor Auto Shop, sorry, was right around like $120, $130 for the whole picture. Because you can't just replace just the bulb and the yellow white bulb. So they're not real expensive, which is real nice. The other thing is, I can't remember the exact thing. There's a warranty on the light itself. I want to say it's like either a 5-year or 10-year warranty on the lights. So, you know, there is a pretty good warranty on it.
Move that we approve the lighting upgrade at the Lewis Gym.
A second.
We have a motion by Ms. Lopez and a second by Ms. Miles. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of purchase of plasma table for ag program.
so this is the first for the Next Gen Perkins Fund funding. Auto will also be coming forth later and possibly even health sciences. So when we receive word that Perkins Next Gen opens up, we apply for the funding, and those teachers actually have to put in there what they are asking for. And then if we are awarded that funding, then we have to come to the board and ask. So the ag program has put in, and they were awarded for the amount for this plasma table. And so now we're just asking to spend that money where we told the state we would on the plasma table. This does include training for them as well as a teacher and students utilizing the CAD drawing system. So they were able to get that as a package deal with it. So that way they can ensure the utilization of that when it comes in.
Oh yeah, I see it. The CAD/CAM education package.
Yes. And they are currently a CES vendor as well. RDF is, so we are staying local to purchase that. But we're just asking for approval to spend that money as we had allotted to the state.
I move that we approve the purchase of the plasma table for the ag program.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Davalos. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Plasma table it is. That's cool.
Those things are cool, man.
Yeah. it
You
is
can
cool.
make anything.
Super cool.
Lots of sign opportunities in the future, I think.
Our fees right across the street. Got one.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Very good. Okay, item 8, personnel, new hires.
Can we introduce everyone here?
Yes,
Okay.
we would love to have.
So
everyone
those of you
introduced.
who are here, Jonathan, if we can make sure the camera gets everybody. We'll start up here in the front with our Director of Federal Programs, Jamie Watson, is here with us tonight. Our Director of Human Resources and Special Education, Kendra Johnson. We have our elementary principal, Crystal Harmio. And then in the back, we have our high school principal, Jamila Miller. And then I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Jeannie Harris is our business manager. Why not? We'll just get it. And then we have food service. We have the coordinator of food service, Shelly Montgomery. Our middle, I didn't want to leave. I know, it's middle school. I feel like we did everybody else. So our middle school principal, Miss Fergie, and then maintenance coordinator of maintenance, Chris Ferguson. We have a few others in the room too, but that kind of comprises our leadership team as we meet, and they'll all be so excited on Thursday that they all made it on camera.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you,
What you
thank
guys
you.
do.
Welcome, welcome.
With that, we have some other new hires, but currently as of last week, we have all of our teacher positions are filled. The only position that does not hold a license will be our middle school ELA teacher that will be is working towards a license to be licensed come January 1. So super excited. We were able to give her the opportunity to complete that, but also that the rest of our teacher positions are currently filled with people who do hold a license. So Michael Miller, that is Miss Miller at the high school. Her husband is going to join our team as a sped teacher at the elementary school. Miss Teresa Ibarra is moving from the middle school. She is currently attending school to become an early childhood educator. And so she thought that it was most appropriate that she goes and moves into that role right now while she can learn some of those skills. Mercedes Munoz will be our SPED educational assistant at the elementary school. She has been subbing for us for the last year, and so we're excited that she's going to join our team permanently. And then Irvin Saldivar is our new IT technician, so excited for all of them as well.
Cool. Well, thank you and welcome.
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody.
Item B, resignations. We have none. Item 9, correspondence, and we have the correspondence, and Ms. Pierce will get those in our.
So yes, so there's correspondence in terms of title. So when you watch other people's board meetings, you learn a lot about things, and this is where they put this. So We also received an update on structured literacy and how to utilize those funds. And so this will also go in there. This says that we can utilize our structured literacy funds to help pay teachers for their letters training. And kind of give some information on the letters training. This will be the last year that the PD pays for letters. It's a phonics training for our elementary school. So I think it's very important for us to utilize that information this next school year, because in the future, we will have to pay for teachers to be trained in letters. So that is this correspondence. And then the last piece of correspondence is the information I printed out this morning in terms of what it looks like for our future as the accreditation piece. And it's marked out by school and where everyone meets or is approaching standards and does not meet standards. And so based upon this will be our goal. But I'll put that in there for reading. But I would like to go over this at the next meeting too, to kind of, hey, this is our plan for each of these places. Here's what we're going to utilize to ensure we meet all of those accreditation.
There's 10 criteria you said for that?
10. We do not, number 10 is for, let me make sure I say this correctly, tribal education status, tribal student needs assessment, tribal consultation. So we kind of get a give me on number 10.
For now.
Yeah, for now. For now. You never know what. They'll put something else and there'll be 12 tomorrow. So we'll take our 9 and
Thank you. Okay, item 9B, future meetings. So July 28th through July 31st are professional work days for staff. August 1st is the first day of school for 1st through 12th grade. August 5th, first day of school for pre-K and kindergarten. August 11th is our next board meeting. Anything else? Nope. Okay, item 10, adjournment. Do we have a motion on the floor? Okay, Ms. Lopez?
I know that we
Has-
adjourned this meeting.
Lopez. Second. And Ms. Miles, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. Here's a little gavel.